Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I hope we're all doing better than the people in this trial are doing, which that's a really low bar to hit. So we should be okay. All right, 11/26/19. That's right where we stopped. Oh, oh, we're gonna press play. It was okay last time. It was nice and chill. I have a feeling it's gonna be different this time. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, we're back on the record. All parties in council are present. Mr. Lytle, you have till 2:15 to complete your case. Ms. Ravello, Ms. Sangalaza, you used up a lot of your presentation time and cross-examination, so you'll have till close to 5 o'clock to present your case, okay?
Yes.
Okay, call your next witness, please.
All right, Sierra Johnson.
Do you solemnly swear testimony about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Would you please state and spell your full name for the record?
Sierra, Sierra Johnson, Johnsson.
And where do you reside, Ms. Johnson?
Lakeville, Minnesota.
Um, do you know this gentleman to my right?
I do.
Okay, and how long have you known him?
Roughly 14 years.
Okay. You said you live in Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever lived in Wisconsin?
I attended college in Wisconsin.
Okay, all right. Have you ever been, sorry, before I get to that, do you know the plaintiff?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you known her?
Maybe two years.
Okay. All right. So where did you meet?
I met her, first met her in Minnesota when they were visiting.
Okay. They were visiting you specifically, or?
They were visiting Minnesota and we met up.
Got it. All right. Have you ever observed Mr. Ravello? Well, first of all, have you met Julian, the party's?
I have.
Okay, and when did you first meet Julian?
In April.
Okay, of this year?
Yes.
Okay, and where did you meet Julian?
In Wisconsin.
Okay. And during that time, first of all, when you met them in Wisconsin, how many times did you see Mr. Ravello and Julian together?
I stayed with Nick and his son for a week.
Okay. And during that time, were you able to observe Mr. Ravello and Julian together?
I was.
Okay, and what were your general impressions of the relationship between Mr.
Objection,
Ravello
leading question.
and the child?
All right, it's not leading because he just asked, what were your general impressions?
That they had a really good connection with each other. There was a lot of love, a lot of care given to this child.
And during the week that you were staying with them in Wisconsin, did you have any concerns about
Objection.
Mr. Ravello's ability to parent Julian?
Objection, leading question. He's asking her to answer any concerns about his ability
Your Honor, if we're
to
going to
parent.
keep getting the
I
same
don't
objections
think
to the
it's,
same
I
questions.
don't think it's leading, so overruled.
Did you have any concerns?
I didn't have any concerns whatsoever.
Okay. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Cross?
Okay. How many times have you met me in person?
3 or 4?
Do you live in Las Vegas?
I do not.
Have you been to Las Vegas since the child has been born?
I have.
When?
Earlier this summer. I've been here twice.
Where did you stay?
I stay with Nick.
Where?
in his apartment.
Okay, and then, what floor is his apartment on?
Objection, relevance.
On here, I'm trying to establish whether or not she actually lives there, because she would know.
All right.
I don't know, the 8th? I have no idea.
Okay, no further questions.
It's a high rise, is that correct?
It's
Yes.
not.
There
Oh,
are
I'm
multiple
sorry.
floors.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further, council?
No, no redirect, Chairman.
You may step down, ma'am. You're free to go at this point in time. Please do not discuss any of the testimony you gave on the stand with any other witness in the case. Thank you.
Your Honor, plaintiff called Steve Buell. Steve Buell, sir.
Steve Buell.
Standing with your right hands be sworn.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I will.
Good afternoon, Mr. Buell. Would you please state and spell your full name for the record?
Stephen Buell, STEPHENBUELL.
Thank you. And where do you reside, Mr. Buell?
I'm living in Milwaukee right now,
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Okay. Have you ever lived in Ripon?
I have not.
Okay. Do you know the gentleman to my right, the plaintiff in this action?
I do.
Okay, and how long have you known Mr. Revella?
Dating back to my college years, so about 10 years.
Okay. And how did you come to know Mr. Revella?
Through some mutual friends of ours.
Do you know the defendant in this action?
I do.
Okay, and how long have you known Ms. Sangalaza?
Milwaukee.
Since they started dating, but I maybe only hung out once or twice.
Okay.
Not very well. I don't know.
Have you ever met the party's child, Julian?
I have.
Okay. And when did you first meet him?
Shortly after he was born, I was in Vegas.
Okay.
So,
And, I'm sorry, you met him in Las Vegas?
in Las Vegas.
Okay. Have you ever spent any time around Julian since that first trip to Las
Objection,
Vegas?
leading question.
Overruled.
Could you repeat that?
Since that first time you met Julian,
Yes.
have you spent any time around
Oh,
Julian?
yeah. I've lived with Nicholas and Julian over the summer, the
Okay.
entire month of June and July,
And that was at Nick's apartment here?
at Nick's apartment.
Okay.
Summer.
And while you were living at Nick's apartment over the summer, did you have any opportunity to observe Nick and Julian together?
I did.
And what were your general impressions of the relationship between Nick and Julian?
Very positive. Like, they always seemed Julian would always have a smile on his face. Like, I did some babysitting too, and he would come back, and it would always, he was always happy to see him. Inside the apartment, they always got along. Like, you could tell they both really care for each other.
And during the time that you were staying with Nick over the summer, did you have any concerns about Nick's ability to be a father to Julian?
I did not.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross.
So what do you do professionally? What's your occupation?
Me? I play poker professionally
Okay, and when do you typically play poker?
at night.
What
Over
day-
the summer, when do you want?
What
are you
days
talk-
of the week?
Varies.
Okay, and you stated that you lived with them over the summer, correct?
I did.
Were you on the lease?
I was not on any lease. I was on a
Okay,
month-to-month.
thank you. And are you CPR certified?
Objection, relevance.
Completely relevant. Yeah,
Why
he
is
was
that
baby.
relevant?
He was baby. He stated he was babysitting. Are you CPR certified?
Objection, relevance.
I'll allow it.
I'm not CPR certified.
Okay, and are you cleared to babysit, your background, did you get a background check to be cleared to babysit?
Objection, compound question, and relevance.
Sustained on
Okay.
both.
Did you ever get a background check to become a babysitter?
Objection, relevance.
He's not a professional babysitter, so I don't see the relevance as to whether or not he got a background check. Most babysitters who are not professionals and sit for their friends don't get background checks, so.
Are you related to the baby, to the child?
Objection, relevance.
I'll allow that.
I am not related.
Okay, no further questions, thank you.
No redirect, Your Honor.
You're free to step down. Please don't discuss the testimony that you gave on the stand with any other witness in the case.
I am not CPR certified. However, I have Heimlicked every single person that lived in this house a couple times, and I did it all by myself without CPR certification, and they lived.
Comes back to the ballot. Sorry, what was it? Beth Rella.
Standing and raise your right hand, please.
You do solemnly swear testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rella. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Beth Revello, Revelloo.
Thank you. Where do you reside?
I live in Ripon, Wisconsin.
Okay. And do you know the gentleman to my right?
I do.
How do you know him?
Nick is my son.
Okay. You've known him his whole life?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the defendant in this action, the woman here? to the
Yes, I
right?
do.
Okay, and how long
Certifiable.
have you known her?
Since, I believe, I can't remember the exact month, but I think it was July of 2018
Okay. And,
or 2017.
and have you met the parties?
2017,
2017? Thank you.
yes.
Have you met the party's child, Julian?
Yes,
And Julian is your grandson?
he is.
Objection, leading question.
Sustained.
When did you first meet Julian?
I first met Julian a day or two after he was born.
Okay. And where was that?
In Las Vegas at the Summerlin Hospital.
Okay. Since Julian was born, have you had an opportunity to observe your son Nick interacting with Julian?
Yes, I have.
On about how many occasions?
Well, when he was born, I was here for a week. I observed him then. Then I was here in December, last December, and I stayed with Nick and Julian. And then Nick was home in April of this year for 3 weeks, and I observed them every day.
Okay. Any time since April of this year? Or no?
Objection, leading question.
Just says any time. It's not a leading question. Doesn't suggest the answer.
I have not seen them in person since April.
So, in the times that you have been around Nick and Julian together, what are your general impressions of the relationship between Nick and Julian?
They have a very good relationship. Julian is very happy around Nick.
What leads you to that conclusion?
He smiles a lot. He's very happy, talkative. I've seen videos that Nick has sent me.
Do you yourself have a relationship with Julian?
Not a close one because of our distance, but yeah,
Okay. Would you like to have a relationship with Julian?
I certainly would.
Objection.
Okay.
He's asking an opinionated question, not, it's not gonna establish any facts. Relevant facts.
It's all right to ask an opinion question. However, whether or not she'd like to have a relationship really isn't relevant to the custody determination, so I'll sustain it on that basis.
Fair enough, Your
And
Honor.
the answer is stricken.
Fair enough, Your Honor. In the time that you've spent observing Nick and Julian together, do you have any concerns about Nick's ability to act as a parent to Julian?
Not at all.
No further questions.
Cross?
Okay. Do you have any other children?
No, I don't.
How old is your son?
He's 34.
And when you came to visit the baby in the hospital, who did you bring with you?
I brought my friend Joanne.
And had Joanne ever been to Las Vegas?
I believe she had, yes.
Had she met anyone in my family?
I don't think so. Well, she had met you before
Well, my
that.
question was, had she met anyone in my family?
No, just you.
Okay, thank you. And when did you arrive to Las Vegas?
I think it was the
Just
day
recently.
after. Oh, recently? Yesterday?
And thank you, no further questions.
Okay.
Anything else?
No redirect, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you're free to step down. Please don't discuss the testimony that you gave on the stand with
Okay.
any other witness in the case.
All right.
Plaintiff calls Heidi Sensy.
Standing, raise your right hand to be sworn.
Do you do solemnly swear testimony about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Good afternoon, Ms. Semensky. Could you state and spell your full name for the record?
Heidi Sensky, HeidiSemenske.
Thank you. Where do you reside, Ms. Semensky?
I reside in Green Lake, Wisconsin,
Okay. How far is Green Lake, Wisconsin from Ripon?
about 10 miles.
Do you know the gentleman to my right?
I do.
Okay, and how do you know him?
He is my nephew
Okay. So how long have you known Nick Rivella?
since he was born.
Okay.
We meet the aunt, guys. There she is, the aunt. Hello, aunt.
What about the defendant here to my left? Have you ever met her?
I have.
Okay. How long has it been since you met her?
From when I first met her,
Yes.
September of, no, I'm sorry. Well, it was in 2017. It would have been July.
Okay. And where did you meet her?
At my furniture store, outdoor furniture store
And where is that located?
in Ripon.
Okay. All right. In addition to being my client's aunt, do you have any other relationship with him?
No, not necessarily.
Specifically, do you have any
Objection.
business relationship? with my
Objection,
client?
leading question.
Overruled. Doesn't assume that she does or she doesn't.
Do you have any business relationship with my client?
I'm not really sure how to answer that.
All right. Let me ask you a different question. Are you
Okay.
familiar with my client's financial situation?
I am.
Okay, and how did you become familiar with
Objection,
it?
leading question, or relevance, really.
I'll allow it, may go to child support.
Okay.
How did you come to know about my client's financial situation?
I was at one point in the trustee of a trust.
Okay. All right. Have you spent any time around the party's children, Julian?
I have.
On how many occasions?
Two separate occasions,
Okay. When was the first of those?
about a year ago,
And where was that?
here.
Okay. And for how long?
4 days.
Okay. And then the second?
The second
when and
was
where?
when Nick was able to bring Julian back to Wisconsin, and that was in April of this year,
Okay. And for how long was that?
3 weeks.
Okay. During the times that you have spent around Nick and Julian together, what were your general impressions of the relationship between Nick and Julian?
Nick was very caring toward Julian. Julian seemed very happy with Nick. Nick would play with him. He was, meeting his needs. We took Julian to the park. We took him on the swings and down the slide. We took him, when he was back in Wisconsin, we took him to the gym, and he was able to run around with, Sean and Chris's children.
Okay. And during the times that you've been able to observe Nick and Julian together, did you have any concerns about Nick's ability to parent Julian?
I did not.
No further questions, Joe.
Cross?
Okay. Do you pay the plaintiff's rent?
Pardon, can
Do
you?
you pay the plaintiff's rent?
Yes,
Okay.
because
Thank you, that's all I need, thank you. Do you send the plaintiff money?
on
At all.
occasion,
Do you have any children of your own?
I do not.
Okay. And does the plaintiff work at your furniture store on occasion?
He hasn't.
Okay. And how much money does the plaintiff owe you?
Right now it's approximately $25,000.
Thank you, no further questions.
Redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Sangalaza had asked you a question about paying Mr. Ravello's rent, and you started to, you said because, and then she cut you off. What were you going to say?
Yes, I mean,
Objection, leading question. Well, leading request.
It's not a leading request. He's asking you to finish the response to her answer previously. He's not suggesting what that answer should be.
Thank you.
my name is on the lease.
Okay. And then why did you agree to have your name on the lease?
Because I was able to pay the rent.
And the $25,000 that you're owed, can you explain to the court how that debt was incurred or what it was for?
It's for the rent that's being paid, some of the legal fees. I basically help out.
Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay? Anything else?
No,
Based
thank
on
you, Your
that?
Honor.
Okay. You're free to step down and you're free to leave. Please do not discuss the testimony that you give on the stand with any other witness in the case.
Okay, thank you.
Court's indulgence for just 1 minute. Plaintiff rests, Your Honor.
Okay. You now can call any of your witnesses or testify yourself, whichever way you want to manage your presentation of the case.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to call my first witness, Jackie Dolan. Can we call her on the phone because she's traveling from Belize right now, but she's at a 3-hour layover.
You mean she's at the airport?
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. I contacted her earlier, and she just said that she's out of town. We're originally supposed to have our trial a different date, and she already had travel plans for this week. So she's available this week.
Mr. Ledger?
I'm going to object. I mean, had there been a request ahead of time for a telephonic appearance, then perhaps I wouldn't have, but if, I think there's some constitutional issues. It's a custody trial, and I don't know what her testimony was going to be, but if she's going to make.
Well, the procedure is if you wish to have a witness testify by telephone or by video, there's a specific procedure to go through and to request that. So while I appreciate that she's not available today, that request is denied.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So in that case, can I call my first witness?
Sure.
Cleber Sangalaza.
You do solemnly swear testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Help me God.
Would you state your name for the record and spell your name?
My name is Cleber Sangalaza. It's spelled C-L-E-V as in Victor E-R. The last name is spelled S-A-N-G-A-L-A-Z-A.
Thank you.
What is your occupation?
I'm a CDL tank driver.
And how long have you been driving?
I've been driving for 20 years.
Okay. What is your relationship to me?
You're my daughter.
Okay. And do you know the plaintiff that's sitting right over there? Would you be able to identify the plaintiff in the room?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you meet the plaintiff? First meet the plaintiff?
I think it was around between August and December, right? When we started. Let's see. Yeah, August and December of 2018. Between that time, 2018.
Did the plaintiff ever go to your house in 2017?
In 2017.
Objection leading.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so how long, do you remember the, hold on, I'm sorry. Let's see, do you remember the time frame when I was away in Wisconsin? Generally, the time frame.
I would say for 3 months.
Okay.
Yes, 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever in that time speak with me on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. And what topics did we discuss in our conversation?
Objection, yourself.
Well, she's here to testify, so she's subject to cross-examination.
What did we discuss in our conversations while I was away?
Anyway, we were just finding out how you were doing because when you left, we didn't know where you were we know, we find out Nicholas' phone number, we had it, and he was not even answering his phone. So we were worried as to what was going on, and you were not answering the phone until one day we called, then we were talking on FaceTime, and then you brought him to the phone. When you brought him to the FaceTime, when I looked at him, I was not convinced. He looked like he was drunk at that point. He couldn't talk to me. He was walking around the house. That house looked very dirty inside. And that was that at that time.
Did we ever discuss any other topics on the phone?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. And then how did that make you feel as a parent, that talking situation?
All I can say, the whole situation, it looked okay for me, but every time when we call, nobody's answering the phone. To me, it felt very weird. I didn't know what was going on there. That's what I can say.
And when did I return to Las Vegas? So when did I return to Las Vegas?
I may not recall because I've been very busy. Was it at the end of the year? Yes, that's what I can say. Towards the end of the year.
Okay. And how did I return to Las Vegas?
Was that the end of 2018 or the end of 2017?
To 2000 and 2019, right? '17.
And so what condition did I return to Las Vegas in? And under?
Objection,
What?
objection made.
Sustained. You want to do specific dates or times and what he observed?
Okay, so at the end of the year when I was getting ready to come back to Las Vegas, what was the reason for me coming back?
Objection, personal knowledge.
Sustained.
Okay, so why was I coming back to Las Vegas at the end of the year?
That would also be lack of personal knowledge. He would only know from what you told him.
Right, so based on...
So the objection is sustained. You can certainly take this stand and testify as to why you came back.
Okay, when I arrived at your house at the end of the year, what condition was I in, based on your observation?
You were pregnant, yeah, and Nicholas came with you. He was homeless at the time. He didn't have anywhere to live. All he was doing is leaving the house, going to casinos,
Objection, non-responsive.
drinking, and coming back
One
drunk.
moment. The question was, what did you observe about her? The answer was pregnant. You can now ask another question.
Okay. And who came back with me? Who from your observations, who came back with me to Las Vegas? Did the plaintiff come back with you to Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay, and what was your observations of the plaintiff?
Plaintiff at the time, to me, I could not understand him because every time I see him, he's like he has been drinking all the time. We tried to talk to him. We could not have a conversation with him because I didn't know whether he had some issues at that time.
Okay, and on November, Thanksgiving of 2017, who was present? Who was present at your house?
Nicholas was present. My wife cooked. Yeah.
Any other people that were there?
Yeah, my son was there.
Any
Yeah.
other people?
Yourself, Isabel. Yeah.
And what observations do you have about the plaintiff based on that Thanksgiving interaction?
Well, he was all the time. He was
That is her father.
out there on the balcony. I think he had brought some marijuana to smoke. He started smoking on the balcony, and on Thanksgiving, we had Thanksgiving with him. I think he picked up some food, he ate. He kept on going outside. By the time it was at the end of the night, he looked very, very drunk at that day.
Okay, and when I came back to Las Vegas, what was my occupation? What was I doing? But to your knowledge.
Student, and you had a part-time job, and you're pregnant.
Okay, and see, so where was I living? Where was I living?
You were living at our apartment.
Okay, and why was I living there? Or to your knowledge?
I'm sorry?
To your knowledge, why was I living there?
Because you had nowhere to go. You had nowhere to go.
Okay, and then
3 jobs.
okay. Were you present when the plaintiff and I moved into the apartment on Buffalo Drive?
Yes, you called me.
Don't do it.
You
Don't
called
do it.
me. You said,
It's a trick. Don't open that. Don't open that text message. It's a trick.
can you help me with some furniture? I drove there, my own car. Almost 95% of the furniture that was in that truck, I moved it myself upstairs. Why is upstairs? Drinking on the balcony. That's what I remember that day.
What?
Object is non-responsive. Again, the question was he there
Sustained.
when they moved in?
Okay. What was your observation during the move?
During the move, Nicholas did not want to help, but he called me to help. He was always at the balcony, getting drunk or smoking his marijuana out there.
Okay, and
I'm sorry.
what?
Yeah. I have an objection as to, I don't think we've been given a date here. I don't know if there's a foundational problem.
Approximately.
It matters.
Your Honor,
Right.
I asked when I moved into the apartment.
I know, but that doesn't tell us when that is.
I mean, the plaintiff himself wasn't even able to answer.
He was
that
smoking his marijuana.
It's still foundational, but it's certainly some time in when she returned, which would have been at least.
Well, I think it matters whether it's before or after the birth of this child. I mean, this is a custody case, so I think we need to, I think
That's
it's
true.
important to establish this date.
Okay, was the move before or after the baby was born?
It was before, if I remember well, if I'm correct. The time frame, it could be between March and April. Yes.
And then, what floor was the apartment on?
It was
I'll allow it.
What floor?
it was on the second floor.
Okay, thank you. And
Rose, that's her father.
have you ever had any interactions with the plaintiff outside of his apartment? Has the plaintiff ever been to your house?
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever interacted with the plaintiff outside of a house setting, a home setting?
Objection.
Sustained.
Were you present at my baby shower?
Yes, I was present.
Okay, and from your observations, who was at the baby shower?
A lot of your friends were there. And then Nicholas showed up later. And he didn't stay there. Maybe he didn't know anybody, but he went straight to the bar. Started drinking there.
Objection, personal knowledge.
Your Honor, I asked based on observation, he was present.
He did, overruled.
And also, okay, so I'm sorry, complete what you were saying, based on your observation.
Yes, and then, I don't know, I think the baby shower, we had food and everything, drinks and everything, and then he kept on moving back and forth to the bar. And he did not even, I can say, the baby shower itself, we had to ask my daughter, the one in Boston, to sponsor the baby shower, because he did not even want to pay a single penny for the baby shower. My daughter in Boston paid for everything.
Okay, and so based on your observation, how did the baby shower end?
It ended well. A lot of the donations, I mean, the things which were brought to the baby shower came from your friends. And at the end, I can tell when I looked at Nicholas, since he's been drinking, I think we left him there with his friends, getting drunk in the bar.
Okay, do you know what the plaintiff's job is?
I don't think the plaintiff has a job. He told me he plays casino. He doesn't have no job that is his job. But every time I see him coming to...
Thank you. And so when, based on your interaction and observations with the plaintiff, did he ever go to work?
No.
Okay.
Not only did my ex-husband not pay for the baby shower, I don't even think he was invited or showed up. Like, it was just me and my sisters and my cousin. I mean, it was mostly girls. I don't even know if any men showed up because it was boring for them. But Dad was never involved, and I know they are now, but...
And based on your observations and interactions with the plaintiff, if he did go to work, when did he go to work?
That's why I love her.
I never see him
Objection,
going to work.
foundation. You just testified you never saw him go to work, so.
Correct, sustained.
So were you there in the delivery room when the baby was born?
I moved to...
When the baby was born in the delivery room, were you there?
It was you and Mom. I moved. I said I'm not gonna be there, and then I moved out of the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after the baby was born, did you visit him in the hospital room?
Yeah. After the baby was born, they called me in. He was on the table. Then I did see the baby. Yes.
And so after the baby had been born, how many days did I stay in the hospital?
If I'm not mistaken, it was maybe a couple days or 3 days. I don't remember because I was busy. I work. My job is I used to come there to see you. I deliver fuel in Las Vegas. So I was in and out, yeah.
Thank you. And who, that's fine. After we left the hospital, based on your observations, where did I go? Where was I discharged to?
From what I understand, she has a very small amount of time left. So it's really creating a lot of anxiety in me that she's asking all these stupid questions and not anything to do at all with custody of this child. She is running out of time.
Me and the baby.
When they discharged you, I don't know, but all I know is you asked Ma if you can go. You went home to our house.
Okay. And why did I go to your house? Based on your knowledge.
Based on my knowledge,
Why did I go to your house?
you needed help since Nicholas doesn't know anything to do with the baby. That's what I can say.
Okay. And how long did we stay at your house, based on your knowledge? Roughly.
I'd say maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Michael, I should just leave that up.
After we left your house, where did we go based on your knowledge?
You went to the apartment.
Okay. And what happened on the day that I went back to the apartment based on your knowledge?
Were you there that day, sir?
Yeah. Did we interact on that day?
I'm not quite sure whether this is the day. We went in there with you, and then Nicholas was refusing to take care of the baby.
Objecting, non-responsive. The question was, did he go with her that day? And the response was he's not sure what day.
Yes, I did go with me and my wife. Yeah,
Took her to the apartment
to the apartment. Yes.
Did she cook?
and the baby.
And the baby.
Okay.
And what did you observe? What happened?
Nicholas was there. Right, we were sitting there and talking. I mean, Nicholas, since he said he cannot handle the baby because he doesn't know how to handle the baby. That's what I can say. That's what he said.
Objection, you're saying.
That night.
It would be a statement of a party opponent overruled.
Did you make any other observations?
Michael,
Did anything else?
was he
Okay.
drunk?
Well, the observations that I made that day when we were there, Nicholas is sleeping all the time, and all he can do is walk to the balcony and come back. That's what I observed.
Okay. On May 21st,
Very.
Did we speak on FaceTime? Video call.
Of 2018?
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir. May 21st of 2018. Did we speak on FaceTime?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And what happened when I was on FaceTime with you?
May the 21st, this is the day when I spoke to you on FaceTime.
Listen, I try to give you guys a drink, but I drink it on the way. I'm sorry. It's outside of my skill set.
When I heard the police were there, if I can remember well, because Nicholas had jumped out of the building and the police was right there. He overheard me talking to you on the phone. That's when the police said, we are dealing with a paranoia situation here. And then you were there giving statements to the police because Nicholas had called the police on you, right? On that day, that's all I know.
Okay. Why? But to your knowledge, what did I tell you? What did I tell you was the reason why he had called the police?
Oh, you wanted?
One moment.
he wanted.
One moment, sir.
Objecting personal knowledge, hearsay. I mean, if she wants to testify about this episode, I don't understand why we're getting questions about why did I tell you that I had done X, Y, Z? That's
Sustained, testimony will be stricken.
Okay. Did you come to the apartment on that day, on May 21st, 2017? Did you physically come to the apartment?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and who did you come to the apartment with?
My wife.
And who was at the apartment when you arrived?
It was just yourself and the baby.
Okay, and when you no, that's it. That's fine. Okay, so have you seen the plaintiff any other time? Any other time following May 21st, 2017? Have you observed him?
I think that would have been 18.
Sorry, 2018. Have you observed the plaintiff?
Yes, in 2018, when he came to our house where we live, we moved from North Las Vegas to the other place. Plaintiff came to my house because he, and then he started banging on the doors, ringing the doorbell, jumping over the fence. And then I called the police on him. I said, this is wrong. I live in a quiet neighborhood that doesn't like people making noise, like the way he was doing. And you were not there. My wife was not there. The baby was not there. I was sleeping, getting ready to go to work. You made a lot of noise that the neighbors, they were looking to say what is happening.
Okay, and are you present at the exchanges with the baby at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Department headquarters?
Yes, we go there all the time. I'm there all the time.
Okay. And what are your observations based on your presence there? What are your observations of the plaintiff?
The plaintiff? What I observe of the plaintiff right now is his car is all dented and it's missing a mirror on the right-hand side. And he's picking up a baby with a car like that. I don't know how his car got dented. That could be part of his...
Objection, non-responsive.
Hey guys, most of you watch these videos on replay, not live. So Maiko, great idea, Maiko, wanted a channel in our Discord just for Replay Crew. So there, it's right near the top. I just posted this weird long link in chat. But Replay Crew, you have your own chat. You can go in there and talk.
I'll allow it.
Speculation.
He's just talking about what he observed.
Yeah.
Well, the question was about what did she observe about Nick, and so far we've heard a lot about his car.
Yeah, it could be part of
One
his...
moment, sir. Sir, you need to let me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I will allow it. Okay. You can-
When I observed the car was not like that. It could be part of his abuse of alcohol. He's driving around. He's
All right,
bumping.
now we're just speculating, sir. You haven't the slightest idea how that car got damaged. So it's entirely speculation. The testimony will be stricken.
Okay.
So based on your observation of the exchanges, what are your observations of the plaintiff during the exchanges?
He comes in late, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. all the time. There are a few times he gets there on time. Just recently, I mean, he has been coming maybe like 5 of 7, 10 of 7. He has changed, but before he was coming in very late. That I think that's what I can say.
And what's your observation of the baby during the exchanges?
Oh, the baby is crying all the time. He doesn't want to go with him. He doesn't want to go with Nicholas when it's time for Nicholas to pick up the baby. I don't know why.
Okay, and what is your observation of when I'm going to pick up the baby?
The baby is like this. Mom is crying to come back to you all the time.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Cross?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sangalaza, I just want to, first of all, clarify something, because I think originally you testified that you'd never met the plaintiff in 2017, but then there was some conversation about Thanksgiving dinner in 2017. So was the Thanksgiving dinner that you were talking about, was that in 2017?
It's 2018. I'm 55 years old. I'm an older guy. I do a lot of things, so I cannot remember all the dates. But all I know, he came to my house on Thanksgiving in
Was it a year ago? This time, or 2 years ago?
2017.
2000, thank you, okay, 2017. And I think you testified that your son was there, correct?
Yeah, he was there.
All right, and your son is Barrett Sangalaza?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you testified that Nick at some point, several times, that he had kind of stepped out of the house onto the balcony, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you do recall, correct, that there was a reason that Nick was
Objection, Your Honor.
uncomfortable, right?
Leading question. That wasn't even.
That's cross.
It's
Oh, I'm
cross-examination,
sorry.
he's entitled to do that.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
but he's asking the witness to answer a question by also giving him an answer. He said, you recall that.
It's cross-examination, he can do that.
Okay.
You recall that there was a reason that Nick was uncomfortable at that Thanksgiving dinner, correct?
There was no uncomfortable. Nick, I asked him. I walked out there. He showed me his marijuana in a small box. He said he wanted to smoke his marijuana out there. I couldn't do anything.
Okay,
I couldn't bring him inside. There was no uncomfortable. He was comfortable. He even said, "I feel comfortable in this house." Himself. He said
he felt uncomfortable.
he felt very comfortable.
Oh, he felt very comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Okay, was that before or after your son Barrett threatened him and told him that he had a gun?
Barrett never threatened him.
Okay.
Never threatened
So
him.
you don't recall having a conversation with Nick, reassuring him that Barrett was just all talk and he didn't actually
No,
have a gun?
I never had a conversation with Nicholas. No.
Okay, but Barrett has a pretty lengthy criminal history, correct?
No.
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 So Barrett hasn't been arrested numerous times?
That's Barrett's issue. It's Barrett's issue. I don't know.
Objection, Your Honor.
but-
Relevance.
but has-
One moment,
Has Barrett been arrested?
one moment, Mr. The objection was relevant. It is relevant with regard to the same issues of why he might feel uncomfortable or those kinds of things. And so, as well as to bias and the other issues. So I will allow it. Go ahead.
So Barrett has been arrested numerous times, correct?
No.
Has he been arrested more than once?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're aware that Barrett has been arrested as recently as this year
I don't know.
for a weapons charge?
I don't know. I don't know.
Objection, badgering the witness. He doesn't know.
Asked and answered. He said he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Does Barrett live in your house right now?
No.
When did he most recently live in your house?
Barrett doesn't live at my house.
Okay, when did he most
Objection,
recently live
badgering
in
the
your
witness.
house?
He
He
answered.
doesn't live at
One
my
moment.
house.
He is not badgering the witness. He asked him when, if Barrett did. So your dad can either say he never lived at my house, or he doesn't live in the house now, or whatever your
Liar,
dad's
He
gonna
doesn't
liar,
say.
leave the house.
liar, liar,
I
liar.
understand that it's your testimony that he does not live there today. When did he most recently live in your house?
He never lived at the house. My kids all come on. If I call them on Thanksgiving, if I call them, if I can get in touch with them, they can come on Thanksgiving. They're doing their own things.
Okay.
Yes.
So, so if he was released on house arrest to your address, then that was an error? Because he doesn't live there?
He doesn't live at my house.
Okay. Let's talk about this baby shower. There's a lot of testimony about this baby shower. And I think you said that my client, he showed up and then he left and went to the bar. Is that what you said? Was that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. But the baby shower was at a bar, correct? It was at Bahama Breeze?
Bahama Breeze, but there was a special room
Okay.
over there, and the bar is on
Okay.
that side.
So I just want to make sure we're clear. You're not saying that he just he drove up, showed up for a few minutes and then drove off somewhere else. You're saying he left the room and went to the bar in the same restaurant?
Yes, on the other side of yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were clear about that. And then I think you said that your daughter paid for the whole event?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So were you aware that my client actually paid the bar tab for that event?
I'm not aware of that. If he paid the bar tab,
Okay.
he paid for his friends. He never paid the bar tab. Then my daughter paid for everything, for the venue and everything.
Okay. So where do you live right now? What's your address right now?
My address?
Yes, sir.
Objection relevance?
Yeah.
I mean, it's already established where I live.
I don't know whether I should give you my. Everybody needs. Why do you need? You know my address.
Sir,
Yeah.
hold on just a minute. Relevance as to why you need his address.
Right.
So I'm about to work backwards in time through a number of residential moves, some of which were under very questionable circumstances. This is the home in which defendant resides with the child during her custodial time. And we are going to paint a picture that there is tremendous lack of stability in terms of the housing situation for the gentleman. He seems unable to even tell me his current
Assuming
address.
that you can tie
If you get a job in a bar, it's free.
it together, it's relevant, so you need to answer the question, sir.
So what is your current address?
506 Parent Court. It's a single family out in by Blue Diamond.
Okay, and do you own or rent?
I rent that house
Okay. And how long have you lived at that address?
since November of last year.
Okay. And immediately prior to moving to that address in November of last year, where did you reside?
In North Las Vegas,
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the address there?
4343 Copper Street.
And how long were you at that address?
That address was a temporary address because we couldn't get all our stuff in. We stayed there from, I'd say June or July, and up to November. And then we left, we moved to the other side of Las Vegas.
Okay, so from June or July to November of 2018, you were at that address? In North Las Vegas?
In North Las Vegas, yes.
Okay, and immediately prior to that, where did you reside?
Were you in Las Vegas? Nowhere else. I moved from North Dakota, where I was working.
Objection, I'm sorry, Your Honor, relevance, this was way before the baby was even born.
Yeah.
No, he just testified that.
There is relevance to asking where he lived.
Before the baby was born?
Yes. Immediately prior to the North Las Vegas. How far I let this go is a different issue. But I'll allow one more. So prior to when you moved into the North Las Vegas house, where did you live prior to that?
Before we moved from North Dakota to Las Vegas because we following my daughter. She was going to school alone, and we wanted to be here because my other daughter didn't want to be out there in North Dakota because of the weather.
Okay.
Yes, that's how we moved here to.
Okay, but so, let me just go back. You said that you moved to your current address about a year ago. You said prior to that, you were from July, August, September, October, November, about 5 months, you were at a different address. There was testimony earlier about in 2017, so 2 years ago, you were somewhere here in Las Vegas, correct? So
I did say. Did I say 2018 then? We moved. That was in. I can't remember the dates, but
So before you moved into the house in North Las Vegas, and you said last June or July,
it was not last year in June, July. It was, if I remember well, when did we move there? I think it was in 2017, yeah. That's when we moved in there, to that place. I mean, I cannot remember everything. We moved in there and then we moved out in 2018. I need to correct that.
okay.
Yes.
So was it a temporary few months, or was it a year and a half?
We spent a year there, more than a year, and I believe it was more than a year, maybe 2 months, 3 months, something like that. I don't remember because it was extended.
Okay, and between leaving your previous residence and moving to Penryn Court, you actually resided in the plaintiff's apartment for a time, is that correct?
No, I never lived at the plaintiff's apartment.
You never lived in the plaintiff's
No,
apartment?
I had my own house to live. I never lived there. I lived over there in North Las Vegas. When I moved to Penn Court.
Okay, so when there was a court order in this case asking you to vacate plaintiff's apartment,
Objection, Your Honor. The court order was actually for me to vacate the apartment because I voluntarily said I wasn't going to pay the rent.
Okay.
How can I?
One moment, sir.
Okay.
That's the objection.
if there was a court order
Well, was there a court order that ordered
For-
him, or
for-
was it her?
for Karen and her parents, you're her parent, right?
Okay,
To vacate the apartment.
I don't live
That
here.
also would have been a mistake.
I don't live at the. I have my own place.
All right.
I never lived at Karen,
Okay,
and I was not even there.
okay.
Let's see. I think I was out myself working in. I went back to North Dakota. What? Right? Did I go to North Dakota? Yeah, I went there briefly just to for training, and then I come back. I work there. I come back. Yeah, that's what I could say. You want?
Okay. You understand that Nick and your daughter stopped living together in the summer of 2018, correct? After Julian was born?
I don't remember that.
Okay. Do you remember Nick coming to you after Julian was born by himself to have a conversation with you about his concerns about Karen?
I don't remember that. I never talked to Nick. I don't remember that.
You don't recall
he's answered the question.
a
No.
visit from my client?
No.
Okay. All right. You testified on direct about calling the police because my client was, you said he was, banging on the door and all that sort of stuff. You didn't just call the police, you filed a protective order, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you filed it, in the application for the protective order, you filled out a statement, right? And you said one individual named Nicholas Ravello came to my house looking for my daughter. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, like what I said. They were not there.
Okay, and you gave this statement on, looks like January 31st of this year, 2019, does that sound right?
I don't remember that. If that is the date with the statement, that's the date I filed.
Okay.
Your Honor, okay, I'm sorry.
So prior to January 31st, 2019, you knew that Nick Rella was exercising custodial time with Julian on occasion, correct?
What I didn't like is he come
No,
to the
I'm not-
house.
Hang on, listen to my question. You knew that he had been exercising custodial time with Julian prior to January 31st, 2019, right?
I'm not going to answer that. I have no answer for that.
You're not going to answer, or you have no answer?
I'm not going to answer that because
Let me
I
ask you this.
don't know what.
Prior to January 31st, 2019, isn't it true that Nick Rella had come to the house to pick up Julian for custodial visits?
All I can remember, we were coming from this court here, if I remember well. We were coming from this court here. We were at the court. And I was getting ready to go to, I went home to sleep. If I remember, if this is the day, Karen, the baby was not there. My wife had the baby. Someone, Karen, you were not, when the court was over, you went to pick up the baby. I think that's
Your
the
Honor,
time.
can I object? This attorney's asking him to, speculate things that he doesn't remember. He
I
doesn't.
don't-
He's
Well,
stated
he's
20
actually
times that
remembering
he
some really
doesn't
important
remember.
things, Your Honor.
He said, he's testifying as though he remembers.
Yeah.
But the actual question was, prior to the time that you filled out the application, did Nick come to your house to pick up Julian for visitation? Not that day, just any time prior to that. That was the question.
Or some prior days, some
Yes.
other days.
Yes.
Oh, some other days, yes. He used to come there.
Okay.
Okay. And as you just testified, and that was going to be my next question, on that date, January 31st, 2019, there had been a hearing in this case that morning, correct? I think that's
Your
what you
Honor, I'm
just
gonna
said.
object. He
You come from court.
already answered earlier that he doesn't know when it comes to dates.
He
really
volunteered
can't
this
answer. He said he
information.
doesn't know.
I didn't volunteer. I don't know. I don't know. the
One
dates.
moment. He may not remember the specific date, but he remembers, and he started to
I'm
testify
sorry, Eileen.
that
I'm
we
sorry.
had come from court that day. The
Correct.
day that Nick was coming to the house and making the noise that resulted in the complaint.
Correct.
So he can ask him about that.
So is that your recollection, that you were coming from court, from this courthouse?
Yeah, I don't remember whether that was the exact date or maybe that was another. All I remember is I was sleeping, getting ready to go to work. Nobody is at the house,
Okay.
right? He came, he knocked he started ringing the doorbell, kicked the door, right? That woke me up. And then I looked, I see him jumping through my fence. I'm like, what is going on
All
here?
right, let me just, hang on. Because this is really important, so I just want to make sure that we get this right. Okay, so is your testimony today, you don't recall whether you were at court that morning or not?
Your Honor, he's asking him to answer.
Okay.
He's already answered that he does.
Yes.
He is
I
not.
don't, yeah.
All right.
I can't remember. I said, Your Honor, I said, I don't know whether that is the day. I don't remember that day.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I don't remember that day.
So let me ask you a different question, a hypothetical question. If the camera's up there behind the judge from that,
Your Honor, objection.
From that
relevant.
courtroom.
One moment.
if the cameras up there from that courtroom showed you sitting in that hearing that morning, would that surprise you?
Your Honor, objection. He already said he doesn't.
I don't remember.
I asked if it would surprise him.
I don't know.
It's an improper hypothetical, and the answer is, he's not denying he was in the courtroom.
Okay.
What he's saying is, I don't remember if it was the same day that I filled out the application.
Okay.
That's what he's saying.
That's not, Your Honor, to be honest, that's not the same day I filled in the application. When this happened, I
So-
believe it was I don't know, I don't remember.
Perhaps in the interest of time,
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask you to take judicial notice of the video of the proceedings from January 31st, 2019, which shows Mr. Sangalaza in the courtroom. exiting the courtroom at approximately 10 minutes after 12.
We saw it. We all saw it. It could just go back to my stream.
After the judge announcing that Mr. Ravello was to go to his address
Objection,
that
Your
day
Honor.
at
One
1
moment.
p.m. for a custodial exchange.
Objection, Your Honor. He
I'm
asked.
gonna ask you to
we're
take
going-
judicial notice.
One moment. You want me to take judicial notice of what the court ordered on January 31st and whether or not he was in the courtroom?
Correct.
From the official record
Order,
of the court?
yeah.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, what is your objection?
He's asking him for a recollection testimony. The fact that he
No, he's not. He's asking the judge to take judicial notice. It has nothing to do with the dad anymore.
is going ahead and, relying on, well, actually, the plaintiff's already answered his own recollection with his testimony. So I just don't understand where this attorney is trying to get to, or what it is.
I think he's trying to show that on the date that he's complaining, he showed up at the house knocking, that he went there because the court told him he could go there and you were supposed to be there at 1 p.m. to have an exchange. I think that's all he's trying to establish.
Your Honor, can I say
Yeah,
something?
Now, whether or not that is established,
He
I
was
do not
drunk.
know, and no, sir, you cannot say anything. There's no question pending before you.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
If I could just get you, there's a binder, or like a clipped stack of documents there that says Ravello v. Sangalaza exhibit binder on top. Do you see that?
I see that,
It
yeah.
has green pages interspersed. If you'll go to the green page that says Exhibit 6.
Yeah, it's 6 right now.
Okay, so if you flip to the next page, past that green page that says Exhibit 6, you'll see a document there. Do you recognize that document? Now, it's cross-examination, so let me just try to tighten this up. Is this the temporary order for protection
Objection, Your
that
Honor, the document
that
hasn't
you
been
filed
entered.
against Nick Ravello?
Just a minute.
It hasn't been.
Just admitted it's cross-examination, so the first thing you can do is ask him, is that the application you filled out?
Is this the application for temporary protective order and the temporary protective order itself that you obtained on or about January 31st, 2019 against Nicholas Ravello?
This was ordered on February the 7th.
That's the date of the order. If you flip back,
Objection, Your Honor, the document hasn't been admitted, so why is he asking the witness to flip to any page? It hasn't been established.
He's trying to
trying
do
to get
that.
it.
He's asking
authenticated.
foundational questions.
If you flip back past the order itself, you see the page that says Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department voluntary statement.
Objection, Your Honor, that's not the same document.
It's all in one exhibit.
Attachment to the order.
Your Honor, I would say I need time to go through these documents here. I don't know whether these are the actual documents. If I can be given time, I look at what I have at my house to make so that I can say these are documents. Right now, I cannot verify these documents.
Okay. Counsel?
Well, let me just ask you specifically about page 8.
Objection, Your Honor, the document hasn't been established, so you can ask about
You
that.
can ask about
Let me
page
just
8.
ask you specifically about page 8. It says voluntary statement at the top. Can you find that page for me?
Like what I said to you, I cannot verify these documents.
I'm just asking you if you can find
Sir,
that
he
page.
wants you to turn to page 8.
It says voluntary statement at the top. Do you see that page?
It says what?
Looks just like this, sir.
Oh, that one. But page 8 is, you talking about this page?
I'm talking about the page that says voluntary statement. I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
I think you're on page 7.
Is this 6? Hold on.
Counsel, if you want to approach and draw his attention to the document, you may do so.
That page right there. Is that your signature at the bottom right corner?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ask that Exhibit 6 be admitted.
Kelly Fitz, are you back yet?
I mean, we haven't even established what this document is.
Hi, Kelly.
He just asked if there was a signature on there, of which the witness requested, he needs time to look at
Yeah,
this document.
I need time because
He's identified that it's his signature on the document.
if I look at the document, it looks like it has been rubbed here and then that signature, it doesn't look like my signature on the other document.
It's
Kelly,
not
check your
signature on
DMs.
the order, It's the judge's signature on the order.
Yeah, let's see. It has been rubbed or this is
I will take judicial notice of the documents that are on file, the application, together with the documents that were attached to the application. And he's already identified that it is his signature on the voluntary statement. So I will allow it to be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions for the witness.
Okay, redirect.
No rejection.
Okay. Sir, you're free to step down. You're free to leave at this time if you wish to do so. Please do not discuss the testimony that you gave at the stand with any other witness in the case, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, your next witness.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a bathroom break, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll be in recess for 10 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on the record. All parties and counsel are present. And who is your next witness, ma'am?
My next witness will be Atina Sangalaza.
Okay.
You do solemnly swear testimony about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Ma'am, would you state your first and last name for the record and spell both names for us?
Atina Sangalaza, Etina, Sangalaza, Sangalaza.
And how are you related to Karen?
She's my daughter.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you. Are you able to identify the plaintiff in the room?
Yes.
Okay. And what is your occupation and level of education?
I have an associate in respiratory therapy, and right now I'm pursuing my nursing. I'm 3/4 in the way of BSN, bachelor's in.
Okay, guys, she's a nurse. So nobody say anything bad about her. She can do whatever she wants. She can say whatever she wants.
Science nursing. I've been working as a CNA for 19 years.
Um, in your work, have you ever in your work in the medical field, how often or have you ever interacted with children?
Yes.
The nurses in chat are all offended right now. And they didn't even hear her speak yet.
Right now, I'm actually going through rotation in clinicals
Okay.
nursing. Mhm.
And what is your relationship to the child, to Julian?
He's my grandson.
Okay. And how much time do you spend with him when he's not?
Every time, whenever he comes home, all the time.
Okay. And would you say that you guys have a close relationship?
He's my grandson. We have a very close relationship.
Okay. And how old is he?
He's 18 months.
And so, how many children do you have?
I have 5 kids.
Okay. And how old is the youngest and how old is the oldest?
The oldest is 34 and the youngest is 18.
Okay. Would you say that you have a lot of experience?
CNA is hard work.
Of course, I have 5 children and I've taken care of other children, nieces and nephews,
Okay.
friends' children too.
And how would you describe your what are your observation with me and my son, the baby?
Oh, you love your son. You will definitely love your son. And he loves you very much.
And how do you know that me and the baby have that relationship?
Like whenever you're going to work, he doesn't want you to leave. Always saying, Mama, that. And he's your son, you breastfeed him. So that's where you create a bond, through breastfeeding.
Okay. So when did you first meet the plaintiff?
I would say August.
Okay, everybody's saying CNAs are not nurses. However, for people like me who don't know what all the little all the letters mean on all the medical degrees, a CNA to me is a nurse. A CNA is a nurse to me. A CNA is the one who talks to me and gets me water or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's a nurse to me too. So they're in the same category for me.
2017, sure.
And under what circumstances did you meet the plaintiff?
You invited him to our house.
And in that interaction, based on your observation, what did you observe about the plaintiff?
At first I thought that he was a nice person. I even said that. But then as time went on, things started changing. It's like when you're around someone, you start seeing certain things that are off. And I even mentioned it as a mother, concerned.
Okay. While I was away in Wisconsin, what time frame would you put on that, me being away in Wisconsin?
I think it was, I'm not so sure, but I know that it was up to December, probably, let's see,
December of what year?
2017. Up to December, I know that for sure, yeah.
While I was away, did you talk to me on the phone?
All the time, all the time.
And then as a parent, how did you feel about me being away?
I was not
happy about it, of course, because one thing, we wanted you to stay in school. That was a main concern. We wanted you to stay in school. And, I know you made your choice, but definitely I wanted you to, both me and your dad wanted you to be in school.
Did we ever discuss the living arrangement in Wisconsin? How it was?
Because constantly you were, texting, he's not home, you need food, and then I text back, can you just at least get her some food, So, yeah, we were constantly, texting.
Okay. And then, based on your knowledge, why did I come back to Las Vegas?
Because you had to come.
Personal knowledge.
Sustained.
Okay. When I came back to Las Vegas at the end of December, what condition was I in? What was your, based on your observation?
Well, I didn't like the way you looked. Of course, you were pregnant, but you looked like you have been going through so much.
What are the
When someone is
differences?
stressed, for me, because I've been into nursing school, I have to, assess people. Yes,
Objection, relevance,
you were
non-responsive.
looking stressed.
I'll allow it just to that point to explain why she thought she looked stressed.
Her hair was all falling. I asked her. She was wearing a wig because the hair was falling. When someone is very stressed, the hair falls. Even the skin condition changes when someone is stressed. And that's what I saw in the
Okay,
brittle
ma'am.
nails.
You're going beyond what you observed, just talking generally, so we'll stop the testimony right there and you can ask another question.
Okay, so when I returned back to Las Vegas, what was my occupation? What was I doing?
You went back to school and then you were working at a call center. Yeah.
And then, did the plaintiff come back to Las Vegas at the end of the year?
I know there was a time when he had to come back, when he moved permanently. But he did come and he was living in a hotel, with different kinds of hotel. You'll be in one hotel and then you'll be in another hotel. And that's what I saw.
Okay. So when, upon around, okay, in your estimate, around what time did we finally sign a lease for an apartment?
Objection, personal knowledge, and relevance.
Also staying as phrased, do you remember when the first time Nicholas and Cameron moved, do you remember approximately when they moved into their own apartment?
I'm not so sure, but should be in. I'm not so sure.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not sure.
And were you present at the move into the apartment?
When you were moving, yes.
Okay. And what was your role in that move?
Helping, putting things away.
Okay. And what was your observation of the plaintiff?
My husband did all the moving. I would say 95% of the moving, taking things from the truck into the apartment. 95%. He was constantly drinking, and he was upstairs in his apartment. That's what I observed. And then later on, in the end, when everything was almost ending,
I believe her. I believe that he was constantly drinking. I believe that.
When I saw maybe two people come in, but the things were already finished. Everything was already in the apartment, just little nicks.
Okay. And then how often did you visit the apartment?
Many times we were visiting.
Okay, and then what was the condition of the apartment?
When you were there, it was clean. The apartment was clean. Yes.
Okay, and do you know if the plaintiff has a job?
I've never known any job. I've never seen him go to work or mention anything about a job. So.
Okay, and
It's coming,
were
Kelly.
you
It's
present
coming.
when the baby
It's
was
coming.
born?
I'm sorry.
Yes, I was there.
Okay, and how many days did I stay in the hospital, or to your observation and knowledge?
I would say two to 3 days.
Okay,
I'm sure.
and what? Who came to visit?
Mel, me and you can co-parent. And we can create a custody agreement with no fighting. Yep.
Who did you see come visit the baby, or me?
I know your friend was there. My pastor and wife and their daughter were there. And Nicholas' mom and her friend, I don't know who she is. They did come visit.
Prior to that, had you met Nicholas' mom's friend before?
No.
Okay. And based on your observation, how did his mom and his friend interact in the hospital while you were there, while you were in the hospital?
Objection, relevance.
What's the relevance about how his mother and her friend acted in the hospital?
Because she claimed that she wants to have a relationship with the baby, but there's a key.
Who, the friend or the grandmother?
The grandmother. There's a key information, something that she did that said otherwise.
Are we gonna have?
I'll allow the
Yes.
answer to the question. You're trying to impeach the grandmother's testimony?
I'm bigger than the
I mean,
cats.
She was on the stand.
One moment.
she claimed something, but did otherwise, while other people were there in the hospital.
Here in the courtroom?
No. And she claimed that she wanted to have a relationship with the baby, but in the hospital, in the
All
hospital.
right, so you want to, all right, I'll allow it for possible impeachment and take it towards the waive. And I'll strike it if it's not responsive.
Okay.
She couldn't hold the baby. And
It's not for a bath, Kelly. It's spray. So you'll be able to do that.
She's being Nick's mother?
Yes, she couldn't hold the baby, and that's what I can say, that she couldn't hold the baby, and let me think something else. And also she was talking about having to go sightseeing, and if you want to have a relationship, you cannot even hold the baby. You don't want to hold the baby. All you are talking about is going sightseeing. So I didn't see how, this is your first grandchild. To me it would be very important that I stay with my grandson. This is my first grandson. And all you talk about is sightseeing.
Okay.
Okay. Did you interact with her often?
Not much. Not much at all.
Okay. So, were you present at the baby shower?
I was.
Okay. What were your observations of the baby shower, the plaintiff at the baby shower?
Well, he was always at the bar with his friend. He was always at the bar with his friend and gave him to cut that in, leave. And that's how it was. Drinking all the time.
Okay. And who else was at the baby shower?
Your friends were there, and he brought a friend too.
I'm completely lost. No idea what's going on.
Have you ever met his aunt?
No,
Okay. Have you ever met anyone else in his family?
no.
Were you, okay, so were you present, physically present in the, oh no, I'm sorry. After I was discharged out of the hospital, were you present during that discharge?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and then after we left the hospital, where did we go?
To my house, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, and to your knowledge, what was the reason why we went to your house?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
How long did we stay at your house?
About 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, and then were you present in the apartment on Buffalo on May 21st, 2018?
I cannot say the date exactly, but I was in that apartment many times, yes.
Okay. Do you, let's see. Do you recall being on FaceTime on May 21st, 2018 when police were called to?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. That day, did you physically go to the apartment?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay. And what was your observations of that?
Objection, vague.
What was your observations when you got to the apartment? Who was there?
The
Crazy kidnapper.
police were there. My husband was there too. We went there together, and Nicholas had brought some policemen, yes, to the apartment.
Was Nicholas there?
You brought the police.
No, was Nicholas there when
Yeah.
you arrived?
Yes,
So how do you know he
no.
brought the police?
I was there, and then he brought the police.
So you were in the apartment and then Nicholas came in with the
With
police?
the police.
Okay.
Okay, and was your husband, was my dad, your husband, present?
yes.
During
Best typo ever.
that particular incident?
There were 2 incidences about police. There's one incident where my husband was there.
Oh no, don't
And then
fix
there
it
was
now.
an incident where I was there and my other daughter was there.
Was this on May 21st, 2018, that same day?
That day he was there, but he had to go to work later on. Yes.
Okay, and then on that day, you mentioned that you had seen Nicholas. What was your observation of that situation when the victim came to the apartment?
Nicholas was just, I didn't understand the way he was behaving. That's one thing. I didn't know whether maybe he's drunk or he smoked something. I don't know.
Objection,
Be-
speculation.
Sustained, the testimony is disregarded.
Okay. What was your observation of that situation? Just a general observation during that time.
Objection, vague.
Sustained.
Okay. What happened on May 21st to the best of your observation and knowledge?
He packed his bag.
He
Because
packed his bag, is that what you said?
Yeah, the suitcase. He packed his suitcase because the police had said it's advisable that he leave until things calm down. So he packed his bag and he left.
And did the plaintiff not come back to the apartment on that day?
Objection, personal knowledge.
Oh, based on your observations, since you were there, did the plaintiff not come
While
back?
you were at the apartment, did the plaintiff come back?
Yes,
Okay.
with some people.
And then what happened when the plaintiff came back?
He came back with 3 people. And the way they were threatening. So I said to my daughter, call the police. When I said call the police, that's when they all scattered out. And then I texted him. I said, what was that meant for, bringing in people like that You know, she just had a baby. And he replied my email and said, because you don't listen. Because you wanted Karen out of the apartment, that's why.
After I moved from the apartment, where did I go? Me and the baby.
You came to live with us when you moved out of the apartment.
Okay, and since then have I lived at that apartment? I mean with you guys, sorry.
You have been living with us ever since you moved out of the apartment.
Okay, can we go ahead and look at my exhibit H, number 8?
Buzzer.
Can you turn to exhibit 8, or H? And then can you start scrolling just through that particular exhibit? Do you know what these documents are?
And I see that is the hair that was falling from the baby's head.
Okay, if you could just keep scrolling. Do you know generally what these documents are?
Yes, I do.
And where were these?
Baby.
Where were these pictures taken?
At our house here in Pendleton Court.
Okay, and whose devices took these photos?
It's a phone.
But whose devices, sorry, took these photos?
You did this. You took the photos.
All right, and Your Honor, I'd like to move to have these pictures edited.
When were the pictures taken, ma'am?
Uh,
Do you
This-
remember?
The hair is saying 2019. Yes, I know, but yeah, I know that. The recent one is this one. This one that happened just this last week. When my husband and my daughter went to pick up the baby.
Okay, hold on. So, and
Were you present?
were you present when the pictures were taken?
Yes.
And do they reflect what?
All babies' hair falls out. Their baby hair falls out, and they have these bald spots, and then it grows back. It's normal. Every baby. I've never seen a baby where it didn't happen, where the baby's hair falls out and there's little bald spots, and rashes. All babies get rashes. I've never ever seen a baby without a rash. It's just ridiculous.
What you saw when you were looking at your grandson?
Yes, I'm the one.
Hold on,
Okay.
just a minute. Go ahead.
Oh,
No, not
Oh,
you, I'm sorry,
sorry.
Mr. Idle.
Well, I still don't have an understanding of when these pictures were taken. Were they all taken at one time? This is,
They were not all taken at one time.
okay.
Ma'am, can you go through and indicate, start with the first picture in the exhibit when that was taken? Were you present when it was taken?
It was present. I gave the bath. I gave the bath to my grandson, and I had to call him.
About when was that?
This is 2019 May.
Okay. The next photograph, is that still that same?
It's still the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Third photograph,
This one is April 29, 2019.
April 29?
Yeah, this one is April. Is it the third one? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you were present when that was taken?
Yes.
Okay. Next one, number 4.
No, November 2019. I was there.
Okay.
November 18, 29. I was there. In July.
Wait.
Sorry.
November of 2018 or November 2019?
2019, sorry, it's on the 18th.
That's the
I'm sorry.
fourth.
Yes,
That's the fourth one, all right. Is there a fifth photograph?
there is a fifth one, July 15, 2019.
Were you present during that?
I am always present because I'm always at home whenever.
That isn't my question. Were you there
Yes,
when that photograph was taken?
yes, I was.
Are there other photographs?
There
besides
are other photographs.
Okay,
April
number
26th,
April 26th?
I was there.
Okay.
2019, April 26th.
Okay.
Another one, April 26th, 2019. The same. July 15, 2019. I was there. July 29, 2019, I was there. Another July 15 from the same one. I was there.
I'm a little bit confused because the exhibits that she appears to be reading dates off of things that do not appear in my version of this document. So,
Okay.
and it seems like she's testifying like that she has independent recollection of all of these things, and that's not what's occurring.
I cannot say that I remember each and every
This is
date, but I can honestly tell you that every time the child is picked up, I'm always there because I have to drop off my daughter while she and her
But that's not the question, ma'am. The question is, were you there when the photograph was taken
Yes, I was.
in each and every one of these
In
photographs?
each and every one.
And so the dates, you don't remember the dates, you just remember you're reading the dates off of the document, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
But I guess what I'm saying is that she seems to be looking at the date and then saying, well, I'm
Go
sure I
Eagles.
was there because I'm always
I'm not
there.
saying
And
I'm
that's-
sure.
That's very different.
Okay,
Well,
Your Honor,
hold
may
on.
I ask my witness a question?
I'm trying to establish the foundation. Ma'am, for each one of those photographs, you have to be able to say that you remember that photograph being taken, you were present when that photograph was being taken, and that the photograph accurately represents what you saw when the photograph was taken.
I will say that honestly that I was there.
Well, are you saying that because you're always there, or because you specifically remember these photographs and those events?
I specifically remember and I was there too.
Okay. All right, objection?
I just don't think that the proper foundation has been laid for education by this witness, so.
I'll allow it.
So, Your Honor, this is a larger exhibit, but it does show the condition of the baby. Every time I would pick him up, I'm sorry.
Ma'am, you can't
Yeah,
testify
I'm
at
sorry.
this point in time.
That is right, yeah, I'm sorry. So, when the baby gets home, after being picked up,
Especially those chest pains. Makes it better.
are you present at the very first diaper change every single time?
I make sure that I do that and I'm present every time.
Okay. And are you present when we are getting ready to give him his bath every time that he's picked up?
I make sure that I am there and I'm participating.
Okay. And based on your observations, how would you describe the condition of the baby when he's picked? How would you describe the condition of the baby when you're changing his diaper and also getting him ready for the bath?
Objection, that's,
Based on observation.
that's it. She's asking, she just testified that she changes the baby's diaper every single time. And she's asking her, just sort of in general, what's the, I mean,
Your Honor, my question was every
are
time.
we talking about a specific incident? I mean,
It is a very generalized question. She can state what, if anything, she's observed about the baby when she's giving him a bath after a visit, how long that was after the pickup, or when she's changing a diaper, but it has to be something more specific.
Okay.
Potty
How
training.
How long after the baby gets home do you change his diaper each time?
Right away because of incidences that happen all the time. So every time,
Okay.
right away.
And to your knowledge, what are the incidences that have happened?
Always there's a poop that is something else. Either it's a white poop or it's a diarrhea with mucusy diarrhea, or it's some black stuff that I don't know, or it's pasty or clay kinda all the time, and there's always a diaper rash. That's my concern there. There's always a diaper rash. It's like every time the baby comes, there's always a diaper rash. There's always a different kind of poop. It's like, what kind of food is the baby getting, being fed? Because it's always almost clay all the time, or it's diarrhea with the mucus in it. So that's my concern.
And
that's my concern.
And
It's
then,
the baby.
based on your knowledge and observation as a mother of 5 children, have you ever encountered this in any of your 5 children?
I take care of my children very well. I never encountered. That's why I always want to be present when the baby comes, so that we know, what to do, all the time.
Okay. And are you present in the baby's doctor visits?
Yes.
Okay. And has the baby gone to see a doctor for his diaper rashes?
Yes.
Okay. And how severe are the diaper rashes based on your observation?
They're very bad because.
Objection. Calls for a medical opinion.
I think it's a general, and no, you cannot testify as an expert witness, ma'am.
Okay.
Is the baby drunk?
She can say they're very bad, whatever that means.
Okay.
It goes to the weight, not the admissibility, sir.
Okay. And
Fair enough.
so yeah, how
She already answered the question, they're very
It's
bad.
very bad.
and has any of the diaper, have you ever seen any of the diaper rashes bleed?
Yes.
Okay. And was the baby taken to the to a hospital following that?
Yes.
Okay. Can we turn to my exhibit F6? Okay. If you look at the first document, well, if you look through this exhibit, just like breezing through it, do you know what this is?
No, it's a doctor's hospital or doctor's notes after observation of the doctor.
Okay, and can you identify the name that's on these papers?
Rella, Julian Samuel.
Okay, and are you mentioned, you stated earlier that you're present at the doctor, each and every doctor's visits. Were you present in when these documents are given?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to have these documents admitted as well.
No objection, Your Honor. No objection.
I'll be admitted.
Okay, so if we go ahead and look at the first page, can you read the location, the very first line on that page? What does that say?
The emergency department physician has reviewed the information that you have provided concerning
Okay, thank you.
medication.
That's the right document. Okay, so, this is the most recent doctor visit with the baby. Were you present?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And, what was the reason for the visit?
Because the diaper rash, there was
It's
no
stressing
skin
me
on
out.
the bottom of the bum of the baby. There was no skin. It was bleeding. The diaper rash was bleeding. The skin was deep.
Okay.
That's why.
And then, what actions, sorry, were you in the room when the doctor, were you present when the doctor came into the room?
Yes, I was.
And then, did the doctor take any significant actions upon assessing the baby?
He said that.
Ma'am, you can't state
Again,
what he said.
What did he do?
He called CPS. That's what he did.
Excuse me, that's hearsay.
I don't know how to answer, but I'm just saying what was there.
Well, if you're gonna
Kelly, a diaper rash is not an injured child. It's just not.
say that a doctor called CPS, then you better have the
I mean, unless it's like terrible, but I doubt it is that terrible.
doctor here. And when is that report?
When is the report? The doctor's report? I have the reference number. It was made on,
No, when did this occur?
okay. This occurred just recently on the 18th of November.
Okay. The testimony as to what the doctor did is stricken because it is hearsay.
I apologize, Your Honor, but
We have 5 more videos after that till we get to the end.
I'm hearing about a November date, I'm looking at a September record. I don't even know, like,
Marcia, would you get the exhibit for me so that
I just want to see. This is her exhibit 6. So, right. Okay, so this is, I'm looking at this page. This is the page that was filed.
So you're indicating that you were not served with this exhibit?
Unless it's out of order, I'm going to see if I can find that page.
I got clips. I have to show these clips. Oh my god. Hi, Victoria.
Your Honor, I don't know. I'm not responsible if the other party, isn't able to keep track of their papers,
It's a,
Well, the issue is whether or not you served this on them.
I do
That's
not
what
have
he's
that.
saying.
I do not have that page. It's exhibit 6.
I got a case that's sort of iffy. I don't know if I want to show it. Just because Kelly said that, I don't want to hear about kids getting hurt. So it's absolutely child abuse, but no child was injured or hurt at all. The dad got mad at the child and shaved his head. So is that too much? Is that because that's absolutely child abuse, although it didn't hurt the child at all. I don't know if I should show it because I don't know if that is too much or not. I just don't know. I'm on the fence.
I'm looking at the next exhibit just to see if maybe that it got, the pages got transposed. I don't have any records from.
She's totally obsessed with me.
What was the date on that? November or something?
November 18th, 2019.
So like a week ago. Yeah, I do not have those.
You want to take a moment to take a look at them?
Sure.
I love his new beard. He looks great.
And so it would appear that it's just these first 3 pages. So I do object to the introduction of these 3 pages.
When did you get those records, ma'am, and when did you send them to Mr. Lytle's office?
Okay, so I got these on the 18th, and actually the order from the department said to just bring the exhibits to be marked. It never mentioned anything about filing them and serving them. The only thing I was supposed to file and serve
Well, you're
was...
always supposed to serve them to the opposing side or list them in your exhibit list.
Yeah, I listed them. They're listed in my exhibit list, but what happened was we had a trial that was supposed to be set.
Right.
And I filed and I served exhibits at that time, but since our judge decided to drop the case, there was a gap, time lapse in between. And so when we finally got the new order from the department, the order stated that the only thing that was supposed to be filed and served was the pre-trial memorandum. And I did that. I filed
Under the rules, you would have needed to supplement. However, I will allow the exhibit to come in, subject to the potential that I have to continue this matter so Mr. Lytle can investigate the issue. Because it's not fair for him to be surprised by it just today.
Makes sense.
All right, so that's the ruling, Mr. Lytle.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so looking through Exhibit 6,
Is it F, right? Is it F? I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
the same one we were looking at, yeah, 6 is F. Do you see other medical records in there?
Yes.
Okay. And were you present for the hospital visit on September 10, 2019 at the UMC? That's the second document, UMC.
Yes.
Are you looking at it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So was the baby prescribed medication by the emergency room doctor?
Yes.
Okay, and based on your observation of the, actually, based on the observation of the diaper rash, like the reason for the visit, how bad was it?
Hang on. So in this record, there's nothing about diaper rash. We're looking at the UMC. There's something about an ear infection, but not diaper rash, so.
Yeah, actually, Your Honor, there is.
Well, the record will speak for itself, and I will review the record.
Okay, thank you, yeah. I'm sorry, no, I'm confused this. This one is the, this one is the ear infection, and I have it listed on my exhibits list.
Okay, He was just pointing out that you asked your mom about a rash.
A rash, yeah.
And he was pointing out there's no rash in that visit. The reason for the visit is an ear infection. So.
Okay. So, what prompted us to take the baby to the emergency room?
Because he was crying, he was pulling on his ear, and he also had some kind of diarrhea. I don't know what it is.
Okay. And then, was this following?
They took him to the ER for an ear infection. I don't understand. Like, I could count the ER trips on one hand for each of my child because ER is for emergency. I mean, if they have an ear infection, I would take them to the doctor. If they had a rash, I would take them to the doctor. But I would never run my kid into the ER for these things. That's why when I had chest pains, I had to wait hours to get to the doctor, I bet. I went in with chest pains, and I sat there for hours thinking I was going to die before they brought me back. Probably because there were moms in there with diaper rash kids. Guys, go to the doctor. You don't have to go to the ER unless it's an emergency. Emergency. Blood everywhere. You're about to die. And ERs, they're very expensive. How does she keep going to the ER? I guess if she doesn't work, she probably has like, I don't know, Medicaid or whatever. So that's free, I think. I just can't imagine. My son went to the doctor all of the time. It was like his favorite place to go. He was always getting injured, always. And I would take pictures. Well, we're back in the doctor's office, but never the emergency room. My kids didn't go to the emergency room when he felt there was an inch of snow one day, and he was like 10. He opened up his bedroom window on the second floor, and in his underwear, and went out onto the roof. Well, the roof is slanted, and there was like just not even an inch, less than an inch of snow on it. So guess what happened to my naked son? He slid directly off the roof and landed on the back porch. Okay, now I'm up on the third floor, and I hear a thud. I was married at the time. I hear a thud, and I turned to my husband, and I don't know why I even thought this. I don't even know why this went through my head. But I'm like, did someone just fall off the roof? And I ran downstairs. I opened his door. He's not in his bed. He's gone. I thought, you gotta be kidding me. So that morning, our dryer broke, and we had pulled the dryer out to try to fix it, to get behind it and try to fix it. So, and the back door is right there. So I get to the mudroom, and the dryer is in the way. This real heavy dryer is in the way. And my husband, who I just said someone, I think, just fell off the roof, just stayed where he was. He was just upstairs. So I take this dryer and I throw it against the wall to get to the door. And I go outside, and there's my son laying in the snow in his underwear, not getting up, not moving. He's just laying in the snow. And I'm like, did you just fall off the roof? And he's like, yeah. I said, can you stand up? No, I can't stand up. I hurt my leg. So he's 10, but he was really big for his age. So I couldn't pick him up at 10 years old. I couldn't. He was as big as me. He was equal to my size. So I grab him, and I put his arm around me, and I'm carrying him up to the bathroom, and I'm saying, hey, I'm yelling up to my husband, can you help me here? He never came down. And I turned the bath water on real warm, and then I stuck my frozen snow falling off the roof baby into the bathtub to get him warm again. But I didn't take him to the ER. This stupid cat. I didn't take him to the ER. I'm going to fix this camera in a second. Don't worry, my cat just knocked it down. I put him in the bath. I looked at his leg. I took him to the doctor the next day once the sun came up, and he got crutches and he was fine. But his leg wasn't I saw his leg wasn't broken. So he went to the doctor, not the ER. I'm just glad that he's grown now. All right, guys, we made it to the end of today. We'll pick up right here tomorrow. Court 6-8, 11/26/19. I'm going to fix my camera and start up OJ. This is going to redirect right to OJ. Fozzie bought me a new light because my old one is broken, but this new light won't stay up. It keeps falling down, and I've tightened everything as much as I possibly could. So when the cat knocks the light hits the camera goes off. Yeah, let's come back tomorrow for more rash talk and poop talk. That's all my stream is poop talk. Bye, guys. I'm waving right now, by the way. Bye, guys. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Got these life echoes, digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales waiting to the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each string, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no